Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight-ish channel. Dana White warms up to Mike Tyson's return. Jake Paul does not want it to be a real fight. Explained why Tyson agreed to take on Paul. The anticipation surrounding the upcoming fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has taken the combat sports world by storm. The main question on everyone's mind is whether Tyson vs. Paul will be an exhibition or a genuine fight. Tyson previously indicated that he doesn't view his match with Jake Paul as merely an exhibition. However, speculation has persisted, and when asked about his thoughts, Dana White revealed that even the Athletic Commission was uncertain about the nature of the bout. "I don't think Texas has really figured out what this is going to be because it's happening in Texas, at Dallas, Texas Stadium. And the commission, I think, is still wavering on whether this is going to be a real fight. Or I think Tyson wants it to be a real fight," Dana White said. "I think the other side wants it to be an exhibition." White explains why Tyson agreed to take on Paul. In a recent interview, Dana White shed light on why Tyson agreed to the match against Jake Paul. White mentioned that Tyson, despite his status as a former champion, continues to earn significant sums of money outside the ring. "I mean, Tyson still has that aura," White noted. "You can be at a restaurant and he walks in and you're like, 'Holy shit, Mike Tyson here,' you know. He still has that type of aura and energy in a room, and he makes a lot of money outside of the ring. I think that he ends up getting these offers that he can't refuse," Dana White said. When was Mike Tyson's last fight? Exploring 57-year-old Iron Mike's latest fighting history prior to return against Jake Paul. Mike Tyson is set to make his return to the boxing ring when he faces Jake Paul at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, live on Netflix on July 20th. The bout has received plenty of criticism as the International Boxing Hall of Famer is set to turn 58 years old on June 13, while the social media personality, 27, is less than half his age. Iron Mike has already been an undisputed heavyweight champion with 37 professional boxing bouts before his opponent was even born. Despite the age gap, the fight was sanctioned as a professional boxing match by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations on April 29th. Take a look at when Tyson last entered the ring below. When was Mike Tyson's last fight? Mike Tyson has not entered the boxing ring since November 2020, when he faced Roy Jones Jr. in an 8-round exhibition bout. While it was unofficially scored as a split draw, many believed Iron Mike was the rightful winner, as he significantly outlanded Captain Hook in both the total punches and the power punches. While Mike Tyson had a strong showing, his opponent was just 2.5 years younger than him. Additionally, the bout was not scored by the California State Athletic Commission. There was also a no-knockout clause with the referee under orders to stop the fight if either boxer suffered a cut to their face. The former undisputed heavyweight champion's last professional boxing match came against Kevin McBride all the way back in 2005. He lost the bout via corner retirement and proceeded to walk away from the sport, claiming that he had lost his passion for boxing. While many have suggested that his return against Jake Paul is simply an opportunity to receive a large payday, there have been reports that Tyson is taking things seriously. Although it will be a professional bout that will go on both fighters' records, there will be some differences from the typical heavyweight boxing match. The two will clash in an 8-round bout with 2-minute rounds, which is likely due to Tyson's advanced age and Paul's inexperience. Meanwhile, they will wear 40-ounce gloves as opposed to the traditional 10-ounce gloves worn in boxing. The heavier gloves are expected to play into Paul's favor as, despite his age, Tyson still has his greatest asset, tremendous punching power. Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul. 57-year-old boxing legend has requested for a fight granted. Iron Mike will be 58 years old when he fights Jake Paul this summer, and he requested for the rounds of their fight to be 2 minutes long. Mike Tyson had a specific requests about the rounds for his fight against Jake Paul, granted by the Texas Commission. Boxing legend Tyson is back in the ring for the first time since 2020 when he faces social media sensation Jake Paul. On July 20, the controversial fight will be professionally sanctioned despite Tyson being over 30 years older than Paul, who turned 27 at the start of this year. Boxing purists have questioned the legitimacy of the fight, which will unfold over 8 2-minute rounds. Tyson requested for the rounds to be 2 minutes instead of 3, and when asked why he wanted to modify the length, he said, "I wanted shorter rounds for more action. If we have shorter rounds, we will fight more action." Paul has bulked up to a massive 213 pounds ahead of the fight, but Tyson wasn't impressed with his rival's real physique and body shamed him at their fiery press conference earlier this week. "I don't know if he is in his prime. He is fat. He should be lean and mean, and he is fat and funky. I saw him with his shirt off. Thought he is fat," Tyson said. "Hey, Buster Douglas was fat," Paul responded. "Am I right?" "I know, but you know, Buster Douglas, I'm better. I'm going to end you quicker than he did, and you will remember that forever. You started me off. I appreciate that. Mike, I like you as a fighter, but I must discipline you. You are going down, man," Jake Paul said. Tyson's last professional fight took place over 2 decades ago, as he retired on his stool against journeyman Kevin McBride. The 57-year-old thinks he started Jake off as the YouTuber thought for the first time as a professional on the undercard of Tyson's exhibition against Roy Jones Jr., but has now opted to finish him. He is not going to win. He can't even knock out Nate Diaz, who is like 40 pounds. How's he going to knock me out? Who is the other guy? Anderson Silva? He didn't knock out Tommy Fury. He didn't knock these little guys out. Knock out me? Who did he knock out? Little guys. Never knock out a real man, Tyson said. Mike Tyson sends 6-word message to Jake Paul after his press conference. Mike Tyson has shared a photo of himself and Jake Paul at their press conference, picking up on the fact his upcoming opponent appears to be sizing him up in front of the cameras. "Keep staring, I know I'm beautiful," Tyson wrote. The former world heavyweight champ, who turns 58 in June, is poised to return to the ring against 27-year-old Paul the following month. It comes after a tense standoff in Texas on Tuesday evening. At one moment, with Tyson's back turned, Paul is at the opposite end of his own boxing career, having made his debut in 2020. The younger man, who has a 9-1 career record, shot back at the crowd after he was greeted by bows in Texas. "I hope you all keep that same energy when I knock this old man out," he said. "Clearly, they don't have a high IQ in there. What I promise is Mike will be put to sleep and he will feel my power, and I will go down as the man who put Tyson to sleep for the last time," Jake Paul said. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.